Tulsi Mehar Shrestha was born in the middle-class Newari family of Lalitpur on 30th December 1896 AD. His father, Kailas Mehar Shrestha, was a government employee and her mother, Yogmaya, was a housewife. He was the only child of his family. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha stayed away from violence as a teenager. From an early age, he did not eat meat or drink alcohol. At various festivals, his mother insisted him to eat meat and drink alcohol. For this, he did not even listen to his mother. From an early age, he showed signs of being a social reformer. He became one of the leaders of the Satyacharan Malami Guti that worked to end outdated death-related rites and rituals in Nepal. In those days, the country was in the grip of Rana regime and people were not allowed to educate and express their views freely. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha dared to disseminate the message to the society about the importance of self-awareness and urged to wake up against ignorance and evil of the society. He began appearing into the public and advocating on the wicked side of prevalent religion, especially against rigid caste system and oppression of the people, especially women. His vision towards social reform and development was to emphasize on women's empowerment, and for which he was propagating about the need of education of women and income generating program to make women economically self-reliant. The Ranas were threatened by the growing popularity of Tulsi Mehar Shrestha. As a result of his reformist activities and vocal denunciation of such issues, he was exiled when he was just 21 years old by Prime Minister Chandrasamchar Janga Bahadur Rana. He went to India. In India, Mahatma Gandhi was launching a movement to free India from British rule. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha was greatly inspired by Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of movement was based on peace and non-violence. His search for truth and his strong will and dedication to work for the society took him close contact with Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was also impressed by simple life and hard work of Tulsi Mehar Shrestha. Then, Gandhi took Tulsi Mehar Shrestha to his own house. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha stayed in Gandhi's house and did a lot of service to Gandhi. Until then, Gandhi had not been able to get services like him from anywhere. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha also wore, ate and worked according to Gandhian principles. Also, he did not get married due to his devotion to Gandhi. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha became one of Gandhi's personal assistants, spending long hours personally serving the Mahatma Gandhi. He worked with untouchables and low-caste women to help them earn a living. He also learned to spin the charkha and weave cloth for himself. While living in ashram in Gujarat, he was imprisoned for participating in Gandhi's satyagraha. After learning the skill for almost 4 years, he received a certificate signed by Mahatma Gandhi. In addition to learning skills, Tulsi Mehar Shrestha was given the responsibility of taking special care of the Gandhi family and managing his kitchen. He also facilitated people who came to meet Gandhi from outside. Seeing the service spirit towards Gandhi, even the Indian leaders used to respect Tulsi Mehar Shrestha as Gandhi devotee Hanuman, like Ram devotee Hanuman. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha wanted to live in the ashram with Gandhi forever. So, he wrote a letter to his family in Nepal informing them of his death, tied it with a white thread and sent it by a post. After receiving the letter, the family members had already performed the final rites at their house in Patan. But in the meantime, in 1923 AD, Mahatma Gandhi instructed him to return to Nepal and preach charkha. Gandhi also arranged for him to return to Nepal with 2 bundles of cotton, some charkhas, and the necessary expenses. At that time, he asked Gandhi a pair of sleepers. Gandhi gave the sleepers he was wearing to Tulsi Mehar. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha worshipped the same sleeper throughout his life. Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter to Nepali Prime Minister to allow Tulsi Mehar Shrestha to come back to Nepal. He entered Nepal with his belongings, but as he had already sent the news of his death, there was a dilemma as to how to get home. He did not even have a place to stay. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha started fasting by cutting a charkha on the side of the road on the east side of Bhadrakali temple. About a month later, Chandra Shamsher ordered to understand his demand. Tulsi Mehar demanded that Gandhi sent him to go to Nepal to preach the charkha and train him to operate the charkha, and that he should be given permission to do so and a place to live. Chandra Shamsher arranged for him to stay at Sankhamul in Patan. Then he sat there and started giving charkha training. He started the country's first cottage textile industry at Sankhamul Ghat in Lalitpur. He immediately put into practice what he had learned in India. He distributed cotton to destitute women in villages and encouraged them to start weaving projects. He established an institution named Sritin Chandra Kamdenu Charkha Pracharak Mahaguthi in 1926 AD, which is one of the first kind of social service organization. This organization discarded foreign-made clothes. Following this, he also founded another organization in the memory of Mahatma Gandhi named Nepal Gandhi Smarak Nidhi. Through these 2 organizations, he was rendering service to the society. In 1973 AD, these 2 organizations were merged into one under the name of Nepal Charkha Pracharak Gandhi Smarak Mahaguthi. The establishment of Trichandra Kamdenu Charkha Pracharak Mahaguthi was the first initiative of the country to start such work in an institutional based and in an organized way. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha was able to impress the Rana Prime Minister from his skill and expertise in this field. He had also gained sympathy from Mahatma Gandhi, which made the Rana Prime Minister to grant him rupees 750 to start the cottage textile industry. A retail outlet was set up in Mangal Bazar through where production, raw material collection, and distribution was channeled. The small outlet later developed as Mahaguthi Craft with Conscience in 1984 AD, which at present serve over 1,000 producers throughout Nepal. Tulsi Mehar wanted to make the nation at least self-sufficient in clothes. For this, he expanded his jurisdiction into Kathmandu, Lalitpur, Bhaktapur, Kavre, Kaski, Palpa, Parsa, Dhanusa, and Morang. He also bought 100 bighas of land in Mahendranagar area of Dhanusa and cultivated cotton. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha was not limited to Gandhi's charkha. In 1945 AD and 1947 AD, he was repeatedly detained for participating in anti-dictatorship protests. Bhim Shamsher, who succeeded Chandra Shamsher as the Prime Minister of Nepal, did not like the activities of Chandra Kamdenu Charkha Trust. Bhim Shamsher banned the trust and arrested Tulsi Mehar and imprisoned him. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha was released from jail only when the Rana rule was overthrown, that is in 1951 AD. After that, he started to work for the society more freely. In 1952 AD, he established an organization called Gandhi Smarak Nidhi. This organization's main goal was to provide food, clothes, and shelter to the poor, orphan, and homeless people. By viewing Tulsi Mehar's dedication and service to Gandhi, the government of India announced in 1977 AD that Tulsi Mehar would be awarded the Nehru Award. He was awarded the famous Nehru Award for International Understanding in 1977 AD, cash prize of 1 lakh Indian rupees by the government of India. He did not use that amount for his expenses but donated the amount for the Women Training Center. He donated the award money to establish a training and rehabilitation center for widowed and destitute women from various parts of Nepal. Here, those women were given vocational training to develop new skills that would enable them to transfer their sad and hopeless life. The center is known as the Tulsi Mehar Shrestha Women Ashram. Tulsi Mehar Shrestha passed away on 27 September 1978 AD. Tulsi Mehar UNESCO Club, Tulsi Mehar Southern Trust, Tulsi Mehar Social Service Award, Tulsi Mehar Memorial School, etc. have also been established in the name of Tulsi Mehar Shrestha. All this shows what important work Tulsi Mehar initiated and how he became an immortal figure in our society. He was also the Gandhi of Nepal. Thank you.